We are on our last example for Unit 7, Lesson E, and we want to find the volume of this L block, this L-shaped looking prism. But in order to do that, we're going to split this into two separate prisms. Now, I don't have a ruler with me, so I did find an envelope that I'm going to use as a straight edge. So I want you to follow along. I am going to use a pencil in case I mess up, that I can erase it, and then I'll switch back to my highlighter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start here in this corner, and I am going to draw a dashed line straight down. Now if you want to make sure that you're making this straight, so if I line it up with the edge that's already there, I'm going to just slide it over to try to keep it as straight as I can until I see this corner, and then I'm going to draw a dashed line not quite all the way down to the bottom, but I'm going to go right about here because I'm going to match this point up with this corner back here. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and connect this part over here with this, because what I'm doing with the dashed lines is trying to make it so you can see the back of these prisms and how I'm going to split them up. So it's just kind of like this back wall back here, so this entire back surface. Now I am going to do a couple more lines up here, so I'm going to connect this up here at the top, and I'm going to connect this one solid. Oops, again why I'm going to use pencil. I'm going to connect this using a solid line because I can actually see the top. The dashed lines are lines that are like behind something that we can't really see, but we know it's there. And then I'm going to connect this corner that I just drew straight down with this dashed line. So again, I'm trying to keep it lined up with this edge here. Now if you need to pause and draw or erase, you can always rewind and see how I got this set up. So I drew this one down. We have actually two more lines to draw. I'm going to connect this corner that I made, this perpendicular intersection, to this line back here, up here in the front. So notice I'm taking the edge of my paper and I'm lining it up with this line, and then I'm going to do this one dashed to that corner. So what I've just done is I've created this prism here on the left. So if I cover this up, you should see a prism right over here. Okay, now I need to draw this one more edge for this prism here. So connect this back line with this corner. And now what I've created, if I cover this up, you can kind of see this prism over here on the right. So I have a prism on the left and I have a prism on the right. So I am going to say the prism on the left will be prism A. I'm going to find the volume of this one first, and then the one on the left I'm going to call prism B. Okay, so if you're still drawing or need to catch up, go ahead and pause the video and get your lines drawn in and label your edges here, or label your prisms. So volume of A will be length times width times height. Again, I'm going to get my highlighters out. So the length of A is going to be this part here. Now this is where it gets tricky. There's nothing labeled here, and you can't assume they're the same, but I noticed that this entire edge is 6. So from here to here, I don't know, but from here to here is 3. So if this is 3, this is 3, this is 3, in order to make this entire back 6, if this is 3, then that's 3, which means this is 3, and this bottom is 3. So my length for prism A is 3. My width is this part, which is easy to see because there's a 4 right next to it. And then 7 is the height of my prism. So the trickiest one to figure out for this first prism here on the left was the yellow part, the length. Okay, so the volume for prism A is 3 times 4 times 7, so it is 84. So 84 centimeters cubed. Now let's go ahead and do the volume for B after I get my colors coordinated here. And we're going to do the same thing for B. Our length is this amount. Luckily there's a number right next to it, so 3. The width, now this one's tricky. The width is this part here, which is actually the same as this top edge right there. So these two right here that I'm pointing to are the same. So this bottom pink one is also 9. And then the height of the prism is this right here, and we know that these are the same height, so this one is also 7. So for volume for prism B, 3 times 9 times 7, and volume is 189 centimeters cubed. We need to add these. Don't forget to remind yourself what we're doing with these two answers. Since I already have 189 in here, if I hit plus, it remembers my last answer, which is 189, and I'm going to add 84 to it. So the total volume is 273 centimeters cubed. Great job, everybody.